Okay. So we just watched the two TED videos, the Michael Pritchard, How to Make Filthy Water Drinkable, and the Hans Rosling
HIV video?
Yeah, something, that one.
So which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's just go in order of the videos.
Okay. First, the HIV one. He talked about the growing number of people that are infected with HIV in different countries, and he actually mentioned that like things have stopped getting worse, and that it's actually steadied out. And so he talked about a lot of things that people think, and it's not always true. People generalize a lot about Africa and just say that everyone in Africa has HIV, and he was kind of correcting that belief and saying that certain countries do have a really high percentage or a high number of people with HIV in their country, but not all countries in Africa. So.
And by generalizing everyone in Africa, because even in their own individual countries, whether you divide it by income or by their different sections of the countries, it changes. And when you generalize, you're being very disrespectful, because yes, there is, like you were saying, there's a lot of HIV that's very prevalent in Africa, but they're also they're doing their best. They're doing better.
I think something that we need to like look at is in different countries in Africa, they have the same amount of HIV prevalence as the U.S. does. So obviously we're not any better than they are. So generalizing them in that category, like you said, is wrong.
Yeah. And it's hard to generalize. I mean, in my mind, I never really thought about it this way, but it's hard to generalize because we just think of Africa as such a poor country. But we learned in this video that poverty really has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say, well, they're poor and we're not, so we have a lower rate of.
And he even said in the video that poverty isn't one of the main factors in HIV, and war isn't another main factor, because Zimbabwe was very peaceful, but they were very prevalent in HIV, and I don't remember the other country, but they were at war and they had a lower one. So I think he said that, what was it?
I don't know that one. I can't remember.
Just saying that multiple partners increases concurrency.
Yeah.
Multiple partners, and then the age difference, because in Africa, which it's more common there to have an older male with a younger female, so that increases those risks of HIV.
I think in general we should stop looking at Africa with such a negative perception, because like you said, we have the same similar problem, and the world as a whole needs help with this problem, and healthcare. It said the number one thing that helps these countries that have high rates of HIV is their government and their economy. So if we focus on the treatment and the prevention and their economy, like that's what will make a difference in the world.
Do you want to go to the...
Yeah, we'll switch over now.
I like at the beginning how he was saying like how he like thought of this thing at first. So like there's a tsunami, and he's like, how are people gonna survive? And then in the U.S., Hurricane Katrina happened. So I like how he like brought in like it's not just like third world countries, like it's the U.S. too. I mean, we have a problem with drinking water from here. Natural disaster happens.
Yeah, and I like how he said that he got mad when he saw the day after Christmas watching these tsunamis and seeing how long it took for people to get access to clean drinking water, as well as with Hurricane Katrina, and how that anger fueled into this amazing product kind of thing, and we think, oh, we know about the problems, but what can we do kind of thing, and this guy has revolutionized that.
I think the whole technology of it all is really, like, we don't know his background, so I can't really say that it's super amazing that this random guy just came up with this idea.
He might be a scientist or an inventor.
but the technology and the science behind it is really interesting, and it really does show that science helps in more ways than it's crazy.
Yeah, it was interesting how he said in the event of a crisis, there may be some clean water available, but for people to get to it, it spreads more diseases. And so anytime there's a natural disaster, even in America problem, and so making a bottle like this available to everyone in the world would make a huge difference and save a lot of lives. However, it might be really expensive to do that, to get the bottle to everyone.
And we did the math on what he was talking about on the big, not what he invented, but with a jerry case or something.
Yeah.
And if we did our math right, because he said it was a half cent a day for 3 years, is what the duration of the bottle lasts. So we figured it was around $5.50 to get one of those, and that's if we're doing that correctly. So that's pretty affordable.
Yeah, that is good.
Yeah, so a family of 4, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was really interesting with the, I don't know, like just the technology behind it, like about the pores of bacteria. So the smallest bacteria is 200 nanometers, and that's what like normal clean water bottles do. But then a virus is 25 nanometers, or can be. And so his water bottle can screen to 15 nanometers. So it's gonna get
I
like
think that's
Amazing.
crazy.
and just with like him putting all that craft and stuff in that water and then drinking it.
Being so
It's
brave
like
to do
he
that. Like,
knows that works.
But it also made a big statement to everyone, saying like, this works, and I'll prove to you that it works.
yeah.
If it can filter out rabbit poo and algae, why can't it filter out like storm water and
I think that's one of the saddest parts too about natural disasters is that their water source is like depleted, and it's like
well, not their water
gross.
sources, but their clean water sources
their clean water source. Because that's a basic human need. Like you need water to survive. So this whole idea, this whole water bottle is like genius.
I think both of these videos really emphasized the HIV and the environmental sustainability.
Nice job, guys.